a filmmaker named Werner Herzog, who's a foreign and independent filmmaker, said that when you approach filmmaking and becoming a filmmaker, you have to be like the guy who is on top of a building about to commit suicide. He takes a leap off the building, and at first he says, "Oh shit," and then after that he's like, "Okay, I have to fall, 50 stories, better enjoy it," right? So that's kind of what it's like. You take a leap of faith and you just falling through the air, as depressing as that sounds. When I came out of film school, I basically decided to stay here in Arizona instead of going to LA or New York like a lot of the people did. And the reason I did that is because I think that you can make movies anywhere. You don't have to go to those places anymore. It's not necessary. We have the internet, we have cheap cameras, and we can just stay wherever we are and make stories in Arizona, Lawrence, Kansas, Miami, Florida, whatever that might be. So that's what I wanted to do. It took me a little while to come up with Running Wild Films, and then after we did, we just started making movies and have been making movies since then. Basically from the start, we decided that we would release all of our films straight to the internet and that we wouldn't mess with festivals. The festival process might be good for some people, but it's not good for me. I've had some experience with it, and I think it's an outdated form, and maybe there's better new forms coming up, like releasing your films on YouTube and trying to make money through advertisements, or releasing them on Vimeo and just trying to get them out there, get them seen by people. So we make a film, and then as soon as it's done, we put it online and try to get as many people to watch it as possible. I live pretty cheap, man. Yeah, I mean, when you get this kind of stuff started, you have to really live bare bones, and that's what I'm doing. I'm very, what would you say? I'm thrifty in how I live and how I make movies, because we make a feature-length film for $1,000, $2,000, whereas a Hollywood studio would make it for a minimum of $10 million, right? A minimum. With Running Wild Films, we never want to move to LA or New York. We want to stay here in Arizona. It's all about developing local cinema here. So the next step is just to keep making movies. Keep telling stories, keep putting those movies out there, and then eventually that following will just grow and grow and grow until we have a great audience, and then we'll be a self-sustaining film studio here in the Valley.
Get out of my fucking way! Get in the car.
So, why Christine Appleton? She's not exactly tender victuals, you know. I mean, sure, I'd stuff her like a turkey in a pinch. Hell, any port in the storm, right? But why settle for canned tuna when you can have prime rib?
She's got class.
Class. Is that what you're looking for? Class at Hot Valley Production? Now there's an oxymoron.
Looks like I lost it.
I think that if people gave independent films a chance, they would find out that they're not so weird, they're not so different, that it's a more original take on the material that they're used to seeing, and that it's actually as entertaining as the stuff that they watch, or more entertaining. And it would broaden their perspective. I don't think too many people these days are really crazy about that idea, but if they found themselves watching something different occasionally, I think that they would actually be happier people, and that it would give them a broader perspective on the world.
I'm not a prophet, or so I wouldn't know. But what I'm hoping will happen is that more and more people will discover independent filmmakers who really mark their film with the kind of personal identity that the writers I'm talking about, they gave it their own signature. The French New Wave did that, with Godard and Truffaut and Bresson, and all of these people. And so I think that's going to happen again.
Making movies and telling stories is what I enjoy doing. I am a natural born storyteller. That's what I want to do. So, and I want to have complete freedom to choose which stories I'm doing and how I'm doing them. So I decided to do it outside of the Hollywood studio, and I'll keep telling stories in whatever way I possibly can for as long as I can.